Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm doing a review on the final episode of the 2023 Goosebumps TV show, and that is episode 10, Welcome to Horrorland. So let's begin with this review. I actually can't believe that this was the final episode. I'm gonna actually kind of be honest with you guys. I kind of miss having, like, an episode come out weekly. The kind of feeling waiting all week for an episode to release in Disney Plus, and finally watch it to find out what happened after that last episode is just a good feeling that I had. So it's gonna be a bit sad to see this feeling go, but I'm sure it'll be back soon. Anyway, episode 10 came out today, of course, on the Friday, November 17th, the Friday, and I must say it's quite a mixed bag for me. There was things I liked, there's things I didn't like. As always, I'll go for the positives and negatives, but yeah. Let me just say before I go into those things that we need a season 2. This episode does have a lot of things that isn't answered and explained, so we need a season 2. But anyway, before we get into that, let's actually get into the positives of this episode. As always, as they've always been through since the past 9 episodes of this show, the cast is great. The main 5 especially, great. Never been a bad moment where their acting's bad. Never been a moment where their acting's bad. I'm speaking crap. And it's always just as long as Mr. Brat, really good as well. And yeah. And then there's the guy, I think it's Chris Geere, Geere, I think his name is, who voices Slappy and plays the evil magician and main antagonist of the show, Kandu. He was really good. This is an episode definitely focusing on him. Honestly, I don't know why it's called Welcome to Horrorland. The episode has nothing to do with Horrorland. There's not even a horrors or any of the famous attractions that you get at Horrorland. There's no the Doom Slide. There's no Coffin Cruise. There's not like the Hall of Mirrors or something. I don't get why it's called that. Well, there's a kind of carnival thingy at a school, at high school, but that's really it. It's really I don't understand why. I guess it's a metaphor for welcome, saying like Candu's now here and welcome to his land of horror. But honestly, it shouldn't have been called Welcome to Horrorland. It should have been called something like Welcome to Candu's land or something. I don't know. I like how the episode centers around him. He was originally, of course, a soldier in the 19th century. We get a bunch of flashbacks about that. And then he meets Franz Mahar, who's actually a canon character. He's in I Am Slappy's Evil Twin, which is a book I have. He's in that. And of course, he's the guy who creates Slappy. And this is in the 1880s in New York. But then once he realizes that Kandu's evil, turns all people into puppets. Because obviously, in the 1879, in the war, he is shot and stumbles into this carven room thing underneath. I find all these strange words on the wall. Then of course is Karu Maria Donna Loma Malona Carano. Is such these are like the words, strange words that like can bring anything to life, any supernatural thing, demon, monster, you name it. Of course. So we don't know the origin of these words. That was something I'd like to be explored in season 2 if that is happening. But yeah, he reads one, saves his life. The gunman goes away in his stomach, and yeah. And then it goes to 1886, I think it is. I think it is 1886. And we see him going to the carnival, meets Franz Mahar, become good friends. A year later, he makes Slappy for him, and then he realizes he's evil because he's seen all the random folk that he's turned into puppets. And then, so then he stops them by using his own magic against them, but in the process, he gets stabbed, basically, by Kandu. And I was surprised by how I like it. It's good. But stabbing Goosebumps is quite dark, and there's also a blood spurt in the war flashback. So I like that. I'm a kind of big fan of that kind of thing. But for Goosebumps, really, I like it. It's just surprising. I would just say sorry. But yeah, but before he dies from his knife wound, he does finish reading the spell, and that transfers Kandu's spirit into Slappy, the dummy, and that is why Slappy's alive. It's basically Kandu's spirit in him. That's quite interesting, and then it cuts back to present day. And this is where it carries on from episode 9. The teens are a bit sad because Lucas left. They go back to Port Lawrence from Seattle and then find out something's wrong. Their parents are acting all strange. Lucas goes back to Port Lawrence himself, of course, on the bus. His mom turns into a dummy. Candy creates a vision of his father who's dead. He gets turned into a dummy, and then, all the other kids' parents are turned into dummies as well. And then the kids eventually find out something's wrong, go to the carnival or the school, follows Lucas, who's a dummy, of course. Find Mr. Brat, learn that they brought Slappy back to life after they threw him down the mountain. And, of course, for the ending, we know that in episode 9. And then he reveals, just for the ending, Candy comes, explains his plan, blah, 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 blah. Thinks it's for the greater good, but the kids try to stop him, of course. Usual protagonist stuff. And, Fifi comes back in this episode. And Mr. Brat just beats her to death. Not death, but gets like a feather, I think. He used the right stuff, and then beats her to death. That's kind of weird. But it's interesting, needless to say as well. As I said. Following the side, there's that big massive tower thing we saw in episode 9 and episode 6, the 2 Night of the Living Dummy episodes. So the vision that Mr. Brat's great grandfather had and Mr. Brat himself had of the flaming tower, people on it, that is finally explained in this episode. It's just a ritual to sacrifice, to do whatever Kandu wants. It does manage to get a lot of people on it, like the whole town is like probably there, including the kids' parents, the team's parents. And then they bring back Fran Mahar, so basically Mr. Brat's great-grandfather, to stop Kandu, but really he helps Kandu for some reason. I don't really get that part. And then the ritual starts beginning, and then the kids grab Mr. Kandu's magic book, try to defeat him, but Mr. Kandu says he knows all the words. And then they reverse the spell, turns him back to his original soldier self with the wound. Random soldiers come from nowhere and start grabbing him. Tower starts, Tower gets more on fire, lit on fire, if that makes sense. Holes start cracking in the ground, that falls to hell. And Kandu tries to shoot one of the gang, but this is the big part. Isaiah lets himself get shot to save Margot, James, and Isabella. And then Kandu and a bunch of soldiers fall into that hole, leading to hell probably. I think that's probably where he dies. And then, the tower is back to normal. The tower disappears, but the people are back to normal from their dummies selves. And then, very sad stuff. And then Isaiah's rushed to the hospital. Everyone's really sad. And this is the bit I don't get. Sorry if this review is really long, but I want to get down every detail on this episode. So it looks like Isaiah's sadly dying. And that's really dark. Everyone's sad and emotional. And then Margot just suddenly comes in, starts talking to him, and reveals that, that they both like each other. But this is what I don't get. She's somehow got the book that Kandu has, and she reads the spell that brings stuff back to life. So it looks like Isaiah comes back to life because you can see him going back to life. So that's pretty good. But this is what I don't get, and this is the last shot of the episode. So Mr. Brat is going to the toilet in the hospital. He washes his face with water. And if you remember earlier on in the episode, in the series, he's in the school bathroom. He looks up in the mirror. He sees Harold Biddle because that shows him being possessed. Well, this time he looks up in the mirror and he sees Kandu. And I think this implies that he's now possessed by Kandu. I have no idea how he came back. It might have been the spell that Margot read. It might be something different. I have no idea. This is just the bit I don't get at all. Sorry. That's where the episode ends. And I was surprised, but a bit disappointed. Why did it end like that? I mean, I love Goosebumps. Goosebumps. Endings are always good. Cliffhangers and twists. but it was a bit of a random one. Like, I don't mind the ending, like I'm getting possessed again, but it's the characters. It ends in a dark note. Like, Isaiah is in critical condition. All the friends are sad. Don't even get to see them. Last time you see them was actually on the tower thing. Not tower thing, but the school grounds. And then yeah, parents are all sad. And then you just get possessed rat again. That is something I don't get on. Just quickly, negatives. It was a bit rushed. Because it was only 43 minutes, and this is my major thing. It should have been longer. It could have been an hour, 50 minutes. It would have made it much better to build a better story, and give the actors more time. It felt rushed. It felt incomplete. It should have been better. They could have given it more time. That way, I think I would have liked the episode a lot more. And also, I thought there should have been like a lot more of like the monsters and stuff and Slappy. Slappy's only in this episode for like 2 seconds. He's in the flashbacks getting made, and you see his face for 2 seconds and this cuts away. That's all you see. Slappy was barely in this, not just only this episode, but in the entire series, even in his own episode. I feel like he didn't get enough screen time. Slappy needs to be more screen time in the next season if they do one, because I just felt he's the most iconic Goosebumps villain. He's my favourite Goosebumps villain. He needs more screen time. That's just clear. And then none of the other things, like the haunted mask or the camera, we get to see her again. They're just never heard from again. Well, just a bit random. But yeah. It's a bit of a disappointing rushed finale to the series, but yeah, it's still entertaining, I guess, at the same time. So, I know this review was really long, and apologies for that, because my usual ones are like 5, 6, 7 minutes. This one's about 12 or 13 minutes, I think. So apologies for that, but I just wanted to cover my initial and all my thoughts on this episode, all the details. And yeah, I guess there should be a season 2, as I said at the start. We should definitely go ahead and do one. But yeah, there we go. There's the entire show. For the entire show, I thought it was pretty good. I like the direction they went for, the dark direction. I think it's pretty interesting. And yeah, it was great, Goosebumps. And my entire final rating out of 10 was probably be a 7. And out of 5 stars would probably be a 3.5. Maybe 4. 3.5, 4. That bit. But yeah, definitely, as I said, it should be a season 2. But yeah, that is my review of not only Goosebumps episode 10, but the entire show, I guess. And I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you enjoyed, please give this video a like, subscribe to Fun Studios. Comment down below what you thought of the episode, if it was a good finale or not. And yeah, until the next video, bye bye.